As always, we have our rumor meter, the scale of believability. 0 Jedheads, it's fake news, you're not believing in that story. 1 Jedhead, little truth to it. 2 Jedheads, it's simmering, firmly in that rumor category. 3 Jedheads, we're faithful in the story that it's accurate. And then 4 Jedheads, it's happening, it's news, it's a thing. Let's get into note number 1. Is a former 49er, running back to be exact, visiting the Detroit Lions. Yes, Frank Gore is visiting the Lions today. We're giving this 4 Jedheads, this coming right from Frank Gore himself, telling reporters that it's going down. His first visit in free agency, and I know a lot of 49ers fans out there, we're looking forward to some sort of Frank Gore 49ers reunion. This looks pretty unlikely. Hate to say it, 49ers fans. With the signing of Jerick McKinnon, it appears that the 49ers are pretty darn set with their running back core for now. So Frank Gore likely to go elsewhere. Let's get to note number 2. Did Joe Thomas call out Richard Sherman for his contract? Yes, he did. We're giving this 4 Jedheads. It is indeed news. So Thomas said, quote, "You really feel bad for Richard Sherman, but this is clearly a case of ego getting in the way of his pocketbook." So apparently, Thomas, who by the way is now retired, that broke just a few moments ago, so it makes more sense now that he's more outspoken about this. He's apparently criticizing Richard Sherman's methodology of negotiating contracts because, of course, Richard Sherman does not have an agent. And then Thomas laid out a prediction. Richard Sherman won't pass his physical in time for camp. Wow. So Joe Thomas quite outspoken about that one. We'll see if it comes to fruition, but Joe Thomas throwing in his 2 cents on Twitter. Let's get to note number 3 here. Are the 49ers going to sign wide receiver Jordy Nelson, recently cut by the Green Bay Packers? Giving this 2 Jedheads, something simmering here. So Yahoo Sports is reporting the 49ers are interested, along with a slew of teams, by the way, Patriots, Ravens, Raiders, and Seahawks. Considering the 49ers missed out on Allen Robinson, it certainly makes sense. The logic is there. I think Jordy Nelson would be a fine pickup. Nelson at 6'3" would actually be the biggest wide receiver on the roster. Now, let's just think about this for a second. Nelson on the older side, Allen Robinson obviously younger, has more promise. Nelson has definitely lost a step, struggled to get separation in 2017, but he would be an intriguing player at the slot position, despite, I get it, Trent Taylor is there, but maybe Jordy Nelson could fill some sort of role there at the slot position alongside Trent Taylor. Let's get to note number 4 here. Are the 49ers going to sign DeShawn Shead, former cornerback from Seattle? Well, you might as well go along with the theme, right? We're giving this 2 Jedheads, something simmering here. So by theme, I mean Seattle corners coming on over to San Francisco, Richard Sherman being one of them. So this coming from Ian Rappaport, Shead is visiting with the 49ers today. Could be happening right now, in fact. Shead would be an interesting addition here. He's a big corner, would probably be more of a depth guy because I don't see him supplanting K'Wan Williams in the slot. Probably not going to bounce out Richard Sherman or Akella Witherspoon, although if Richard Sherman isn't completely healthy, maybe Shead fills that role during training camp, OTAs, etc., to kind of give Richard Sherman some time. But obviously, ideal size, 6'2", 212, that's good stuff for a corner position. Let's get to note number 5 here. Did the 49ers miss out on Trent Murphy? They did. 4 Jedheads. This broke a few moments ago. Trent Murphy is actually signing with the Buffalo Bills to a 3-year, $30 million deal. This rumor was originally, are the 49ers going to sign this guy? Because the 49ers were certainly interested in Murphy. In fact, 10 total teams were interested in the linebacker. Second-round pick from 2014. Had a great season in 2016 with 9 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Did miss all of last year due to a torn ACL and MCL that he suffered in the preseason. So the 49ers missed out on a pretty darn good pass rusher. The 49ers also missed out on Andrew Norwell, but were they close to signing that fantastic guard from the Carolina Panthers? Yeah, we're saying it's pretty likely. We're giving it 3 Jedheads here. So apparently Andrew Norwell had the Colts, the Giants, and the 49ers as the finalist here, and then out of nowhere, the Jags come swooping in, give him a 5-year, $66 million deal with $30 million in guaranteed money. Obviously, losing out on Andrew Norwell stinks. But signing Weston Richburg is a nice little consolation prize, if you will. And then, of course, you still have the possibility of Quentin Nelson at number 9 if you really want to go hard on that interior of the offensive line. I'll get to Nelson in a little bit here, but let's get to note number 7. Did Carlos Hyde sign with the Cleveland Browns? Yes, he did. 4 Jet heads on this one. Talked about Hyde at the beginning part of the program. First reported by Ian Rappaport. It's a 3-year deal worth more than $15 million with $6 million in year 1. I had the feeling that he wasn't going to come back. I don't think it's the worst loss in the world either. I don't think 49ers fans are broken up and up in arms about it. But still, obviously, Hyde was a productive running back, drafted 57th overall in 2014. But with Jerick McKinnon coming to town, I think that kind of eases the pain a little bit. Let's get to note number 8 now. Did Jimmy Ward give Richard Sherman a gift? Well, he did. 4 Jet heads on this one, too. The gift is Richard Sherman will wear number 25. So Ward is relinquishing that number on over to Sherman. Sherman recently had a conversation with Ward about the matter, saying, quote, "It's a testament to Ward for allowing him to let it happen." So pretty nice stuff there. Jimmy Ward heading on over and changing his number, while Richard Sherman will be keeping number 25. That's good stuff. That's good team chemistry, and these two players haven't even played on the field yet. All right, let's get to note number 9. I mentioned Quentin Nelson. Will the Niners draft him at number 9? So with free agency, mock drafts will change a little bit, but SB Nation still has Nelson going to the 49ers. I'm giving this 1 Jet head. I don't think it's entirely likely for a couple of reasons. Reason number 1, I don't think he actually falls to number 9, guys. With the Giants missing out on Andrew Norwell, I'm thinking New York is going to be tempted to grab Quentin Nelson at number 2. I know Saquon Barkley's going to be there. You got Josh Rosen as a possibility as well, but something to monitor there. Reason number 2, with the signing of Weston Richburg, I'm not really sure the interior of the offensive line is the ultimate priority there at number 9, especially when you have the possibility of signing somebody like a Denzel Ward or Josh Jackson, or perhaps you could go to the linebacker position in Tremaine Edmonds. You know, in fact, Denzel Ward and Josh Jackson, you could probably talk me out of not going ahead and drafting them if I was a 49er GM, because you have Richard Sherman coming to town. So giving it 1 Jet head on Quentin Nelson there. Those are the latest 49ers rumors. I'm Cam Rogers. Check me out on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. I'll see you next time.